So guys, now welcome to this new section of this course. In this section, we will going to discuss how to implement column names and alias support. So by now, you must have a minimal project which could show some meaningful SQL-like output on the screen, right? Isn't it fascinating? So feeling excited? So I'm sure you must have played with your project like a toy for some time now, and hope you are liking the course and you have learned plethora of knowledge and concepts along the journey in this course so far. So now let's continue with our journey. So as you can see that when a user type out the select SQL queries, for his convenience, the SQL designers has provided the facility to use column names or alias names in order to specify various semantics in the select SQL query. You can see in this example, you can see that user can specify the column name by prefixing it with the table name. So citizen is the table and one of the column in the table citizen is called a name. All right. And we do this in order to prevent ambiguity. If there are two tables and both the tables have a column called name, then in order to break this ambiguity, the SQL user can specify the column name prefixed with their respective table names. So now it's clear that this name value has to be picked up from the table citizen rather than from the table student. And similarly, for the convenience of the SQL user, instead of typing the entire table name prefixed with the column name, user is also allowed to use alias name. So here I is the alias which is created for the table item. So instead of writing item.price, user can write i.price. All right. And user can also use a pure column name in the select SQL query. And when he does that, then it is assumed that this column belongs from the very first table which is specified in the from clause. So likewise, we will going to provide the support to the user to specify the select SQL query using table names or aliases or etc. for his convenience. So now let us define systematically the various types of column names which the user can specify in the select SQL query. When the user specify the table column name prefixed with the table name, we call it as FQCN, fully qualified column name. All right. When the user specify the table column name prefixed with the alias of the table, we call it as aliased column name, ACN. And when the user specify a name of the column only, then we call it as lone column name. So FQCN, ACN and LCN. So when the user specifies the column using FQCN or ACN, we will clearly know that which table a column belongs to if the column name is in FQCN or ACN format. All right. But if the user specifies the column name in LCN format, we will assume that the column belongs to the first table. First table means the very first table which is specified after the from keyword. All right. Now look at this example. Here the user is typing out the select column expression, and to this select column expression the user is giving some name. So A plus B plus C is referred to as sum. So it means that alias name can be associated with tables as well as select columns expressions. You can see here is the table item and we have assigned an alias name I to the table. And here you can see that we have assigned the alias name sum to the select column expression. To avoid any kind of ambiguity in our discussion, whenever I say table column name, it means that I'm referring to the pure column name which belongs to the RDBMS table. So let's say this is the column name A, B, C, D, E. So I'm referring to these columns. And whenever I say select column, it means that I'm referring to the select column expressions which the user write in the select SQL query after the select keyword. All right. So there is a difference between the two. Henceforth, throughout the course, I will use table column to refer to the pure column names which belong to the SQL table, and I will use select column in order to refer to the select column expressions which are written in the select SQL query by the user. All right. So this A plus B plus C is select column, whereas A, B and C, they are table columns. So obviously select columns are mathematical expressions which are built using table columns. And let's see a few more examples. You can see in this example, we have a table university, but the select query user has not defined an alias name to the table university. But for the table student, he has defined an alias name S. Now, in order to express select query, the user can either use the full name of the table prefixed by the table column name. So here you can see here in example, or the user can use table column name prefixed by the alias. And here you can see that the user is using table column name prefixed by a table name. So you can see everything is mixed. So we will going to provide flexibility to the select query user that it is up to his wish whether he want to specify select column expressions using table name or table alias. All right. And in addition to that, we will also going to provide flexibility to the user to reuse the aliases in the same select query. So here you can see that the select column expression A plus B has been aliased as sum1. And the second select column expression B plus C plus sum1 has been aliased as sum2. So here the thing to note here is that the alias which is defined here is being used as one of the operand in the select column expression. This is quite possible and supported. All right. And it itself is aliased as sum2, which can be further used if there was some third select column expression, and so on. So you can see things are pretty much complicated if you were to see this, that it's so much mess. But you will be surprised when we will going to approach the problem with the systematic solution. Our solution will going to address all types of combinations that we have seen here in terms of using alias names or table names or a mix of both. And one more thing, that since we have reached an advanced stage in the development of this course, I would leave more coding work to you to do by yourself. Though I will be providing guidance and I will going to provide you complete solutions so that you can compare your code against mine so that you can ensure that you are on the right track. It will be boredom if I will keep on writing fundamental codes, which on the other hand, it should be you who should be writing. This would definitely speed up our course and you will probably enjoy more.